Hi everyone, I'm Leon Lutzen, President of APA Idaho. Tonight we celebrate great planning and planners from across the state. Before we dive into the awards, I'd like to personally thank the selection committee this year who poured through a number of great applications. Chairing this committee was Kevin Holmes from the city of Boise. Joining him was Jason Bohl from Ada County, Nick Foster from Kittleson Associates, and Tom Laws from the city of Boise. Although we can't celebrate in person, I encourage all of you to raise a glass and put your hands together for this year's winners. Thank you.
Thanks, Leon. Kevin Holmes with the City of Boise here. We received a lot of amazing nominations, and the selections of this year's awards winners was no easy task. So before getting to the awards themselves, I'd like to take a second to thank my fellow award committee members for volunteering their time to support the recognition of the amazing planning work that's happening across this state. So without further ado, though, let's get to the winners themselves. Starting out this evening, I'm honored to present the Student Project Award. This award recognizes exceptional unpaid academic work by a student or group of students. The work embodies good planning practices and applied research in planning, and it's our hope that this award will inspire other students and young planners to strive for excellence in their work. So, this year's student award goes to Utah State's Landscape Architecture and Environmental Planning students for their work with the City of Pocatello and the Pornoof River. Congratulations.
One of the unique aspects was the integration of the community vision that was developed before we came in, student vision. So the community project was focused a lot on the Portneuf River, but as an urban design project, so it was like how did the Portneuf River integrates into various districts into town, and specifically the downtown area.
Corps of Engineers and Ben's work was interfaced with Hannah's work. She's the director of the Department of Science and the Environment. And then Carolyn got contacted, so that brings the university in it. And then we re-involved those people.
Biologists at the beginning may have thought that we were going to get into selecting the plants, but realize also how much wider we were taking the idea about designing this 22 miles of the river and how we needed them, the biologists and the scientists, to give us information so we could understand how to intervene.
The natural environment needs to connect with people and people with the environment. When you get a river like that that's been closed off by concrete walls and levees, basically what the Corps of Engineers was investigating, the students really took that to a much more tangible urban design and design outcome.
Interestingly, one of the biggest challenges was to get the community to understand and to realize that how great of a potential they had with their river. Projects like this don't happen very often. To have that happen, you have to have members in the community that are very involved and are very caring about their community, because then everybody reinforces each other with their energy and then they want to do a great job. So students wanted to do a great job. It's awesome for me as a professor, it's awesome for the students, and it's great for the community to see what the students can come up with. But sometimes the students think about, and a lot of people think about urban design, landscape architecture, especially in urban design, that you're going to beautify the street, you're going to add trees. And then when they come to realize, and everybody come to realize, because the community and Anna and the biologists and all that come to realize like how important the relationship to water in the city and what urban design and what landscape architecture could bring.
Thank you. It is an honor to accept this award on behalf of those who have worked on and contributed to this work, especially the students of the LAAP program of Utah State University and members of the City of Pocatello and their team. It was exciting to be a part of this because of the amazing people who got the ball rolling and have kept it rolling. This vision for the Portneuf River and Pocatello has become a part of the city and has already had a positive impact. Those who have worked on, continue to work on, and those within the community of Pocatello are invested in it. It is great to see it recognized, and I'd like to thank those involved for the recognition.
Hello, this is Jason Bohl from Ada County. I am here and happy to announce this year's award winner for the Public Outreach Award. This award honors a plan or project or process that meaningfully engages the public through information, consultation, coordination, collaboration, and/or empowerment means. And this year's winner is the West Downtown Boise Neighborhood Association. Congratulations.
So our neighborhood, like a lot of neighborhoods, experience a lot of pressure from development as Boise grows. So we wanted to create a plan that can kind of help detail what we'd like to see as far as development coming into our neighborhood. Was one of the main reasons why we decided that we would like to create a plan. And also our neighborhood didn't have a plan.
That timeline is something I'm pretty proud of, that we haven't seen a plan be wrapped up that quickly before and since. Some of the tactics aren't anything groundbreaking, but I think it was the fact of how comprehensive the approach was. It was a little mix of everything. We had 2 different open houses, and this was all pre-COVID. The second open house was actually at City Hall. There was a presentation led by the consultants, real-time polling, and as the presentation was going on, the screen behind the presenter automatically was updating with different bar graphs and charts showing what the audience was thinking. Also, the neighborhood planning committee over a few days went door to door to all the houses in the neighborhood with an iPad, encouraging people who hadn't taken the survey yet to take it. And that was a really great opportunity to ease the concern of renters, but then also stress that they are part of that neighborhood as well. They are part of the community, and their voice, every point is valid as a homeowner, even though they were just renting the neighborhood.
I think we had, in the end, created like a wonderful plan that fits the neighborhood well, and that I think also we had a good team that worked really well together, that worked on this short timeline and still was able to capture everything that the team and the residents felt were important to the neighborhood.
Hi, Jordan Meardales here, board member for the West Downtown Neighborhood Association. On behalf of our entire board and our neighborhood, I just want to send our deepest thank you to APA Idaho for recognition of Best Outreach on a Neighborhood Plan. This is such a wonderful award to receive, and going through the process of creating a comprehensive plan for our neighborhood was something that I really value as a citizen of Boise to be able to participate in. We had a lot of fun. We learned so much about the history of our neighborhood, as well as the current values and how we envision our neighborhood moving forward. And even though a couple of our events ended up getting rained out, we still had lots of turnout and participation and great energy and collaboration with our neighbors. And so it's really quite an honor to have APA Idaho recognize our neighborhood plan. And just want to say thank you to the project team, to Cushing Terrell, to Red Sky, to everyone at the city who helped see our plan to the finish line. And it's something we're really proud of. And this award is just kind of a cherry on the top. So thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Foster, and I am a transportation planner with Kittleson & Associates in Boise. I'm also a member of the Idaho APA Conference Awards Committee. I'm here to announce the winner of the Planning Tool or Implementation Award. This award honors a specific planning tool, practice, program, or effort that has accomplished positive changes. It emphasizes innovation, transferability, and results that can be measured over the long term. And the winner is City of CHUBBUCK Creative Community Ordinance. Congratulations.
The plan really, I think, was driven by the new Northgate interchange. What that did is it really opened up a couple thousand acres, within and nearby the two cities. We knew that growth was going to be coming to the city of CHUBBUCK, whether we wanted it or not. And so we really thought, well, if it's coming to us, how can we have a development that really fulfills the goals and objectives of our comprehensive plan? We knew that with that interchange coming in, it was just going to open up that land, and infill's not for everybody. So we needed that tool that would just attract those developments, and not just those developments and those developers, but also those businesses that were now interested in that open land adjacent to the interchange. So really a big emphasis of this code was to create a place for people versus automobiles. That place would then attract the people who wanted to work at those businesses, and it would just kind of create the circle of energy, synergistic within that community. One of those daybreak visits, we went down there and there were 150 plus bicycles in the bike rack at the elementary school. You don't see that here. And that's something that I think gave us a motivation for something to work towards. How can we create a more walkable community? Once everyone caught the vision for that there could be something better and saw some of those real world examples for how land use really does affect, neighborhood design, and that community design really affects the aesthetic and the feel of that whole neighborhood, everyone caught on, even down, to our fire station. you see that it can be different. And I think everyone was willing to say, okay, let's figure it out. We'll go down the road and we want to make this work. So when we have 2 developers now who are taking down about 500 acres and have 2 mixed use plan developments, residential, commercial, some light industrial, all that are going to meet our creative community standards. And I would count that as a success. And I would hope that their models serve as examples that we can hopefully get some additional ones for other neighborhoods. And at the end of the day, it's easy to look at a subdivision proposal as a quick short-term thing. The developers are in it to make some money. We have a housing crisis now. People want to move into somewhere, but we really have to look at neighborhoods and our communities as generational spaces that depend on good upfront design.
Hello, APA Idaho. On behalf of the City of CHUBBUCK, including our Mayor, City Council, Land Use and Development Commission, and City staff, I'd like to thank you for this award. Our Creative Community Zoning District is something that we're all excited about, but something that was created with a lot of input from a lot of different stakeholders, and we're grateful for all of their time, both in late-night study sessions, field trips to communities inside and outside of the state of Idaho, and through their reviews of different literature and best practices from around the country. I'm grateful to 2 of our developers who have decided that the Creative Community District was something that they wanted to pursue. The Northside Crossing development and the Harvest Springs development near the Northgate interchange are 2 that are taking down about 500 acres under the new code. And we're excited to see the benefits that those communities will bring to our city for generations to come. I'm grateful to 2 developers from outside of the state, Buck Swaney and George Shaw, who introduced me to the idea that we can and we should expect more out of our developments than just somewhere to park our cars, sleep, and to eat our dinners. Their names are Buck Swaney and George Shaw. I'd like to thank APA Idaho for the invaluable conferences and educational opportunities that we have as a small town that it's growing up. It's been invaluable to be able to learn from your experiences and to be able to see what you've implemented, hear which things you wish you wouldn't have implemented, as we are looking to adopt similar practices to really become a more livable, walkable city like some of you have been putting together over the past few years. I'd like to thank my planning staff, Don Matson and Paul Andrus, for being critical not only to the drafting of the code, but to the implementation now as we move towards that phase. Within those 2 big developments that we have, their work and their input and insights are invaluable. Again, thank you.
Hi, I'm Deanna Dupuis with the City of Boise, and I'm here to announce the winner of the APA Idaho 2020 Leadership Award. This award recognizes an individual or group who has demonstrated exceptional leadership and commitment to good planning. This year's winner goes to Kathleen Lacey with the City of Boise. Thank you so much for your dedication to the planning profession. Congrats!
Currently, we have 36 neighborhood associations throughout the city, and she knows the history of those associations, who's on the boards, the needs of those neighborhoods better than anybody. Part of her role as the neighborhood planner has been to be that conduit between the city and the neighborhood associations and the residents in general. So I think a lot of the associations have known for years and throughout the years have been able to go directly with Kathleen to voice those concerns and know that they're going to be passed on to the correct people.
Well, my all-time favorite is the 30th Street Neighborhood Cultural Arts Plan. That document, it was a joint effort funded by Arts and History, but it was a joint effort with our Arts and History and Planning and Development Services plus Veterans Park Neighborhood Association. And a graphic designer was hired to produce a cultural arts plan and produced a document that I think is the epitome of excellent planning.
I don't think I've ever had a planner or a friend that had such a way of inspiring trust and friendship among others. He's just an easy person to work with and to put out there in a public environment. The State Street Corridor study was huge. It was just a major effort. It was long-term. It involved many different elements and contracts. We worked with a variety of consultants. It was a continual sales project, trying to sell it to ACHD and all the agencies and jurisdictions along State Street, along the full corridor. It wasn't something that I could do or that one person in our department could do, but Kathleen kind of took the lead for that, and she worked that thing diligently and hard for many years. She's had an impact on the projects that have been approved and constructed over the last few years, and hopefully those will evolve into into the true mixed-use, transit-oriented corridor as always intended.
If I were to say anything to these young planners, it would be hold on to their vision and their passion. Have the confidence. If you see someplace where you can make change and you see how something could become better, don't be afraid to take a stance and a quiet stand and gather your cohorts and work toward achieving that. People who are passionate and committed do make a difference.
Thank you so much this evening for this very surprising award. I'm extraordinarily grateful and humbled because in this profession across the state, there are so many wonderful, dedicated, and accomplished planners striving every single day to do your best and to work together, and I'm just very grateful. So thank you very much, Idaho American Planning Association.
Hey everyone, this is Tom Laws, Comprehensive Planner with the City of Boise and member of the APA Idaho Awards Committee, and I'm here to announce the APA Idaho 2020 Outstanding Plan Award. This award honors a written plan that advances the science and art of planning or brings awareness of the benefits of good planning. This award seeks to recognize excellence in planning for livable and sustainable communities with public engagement and realistic goals. And the winner of the 2020 Outstanding Plan Award is the City of Mountain Home 2020 Comprehensive Plan. Congratulations, Mountain Home.
Mountain Home, after we did the downtown master plan, the next phase for the city was to at least update our new comprehensive plan for the city. And their focus at the time was community planning and economic development. So as we got into designing and developing it, looking at the 2008 plan, which was just a reiteration and an update of the 2000 plan, it was just too outdated and generic to really be built upon. Ultimately, we ended up providing them an entirely new comprehensive plan for the budget and with the timeline of the plan update. The city has a pretty vocal segment of population, and really everyone in the community is very involved and engaged. And so we really made sure that this plan reflects the voice of the community. And the way that we did that was by including survey data and community feedback in every single chapter. And by doing that, we felt that that would ensure that developers and city leaders would always consider the public's voice and their desires in all of their land use decisions. The city before this would reach out to site selectors and investors and developers, trying to get them interested in coming into their community, and they couldn't get people interested in investing or building a mountain home, no matter what they tried. Since the adoption of this plan just 8 months ago, and even with the pandemic, the city is already experiencing an increase in development inquiries. They've got new neighborhoods planned, site selectors are talking with staff, and so they've asked the people they're now talking with, had you looked at mountain home before? Had you, been interested? And they said, yeah, mountain home checks off a lot of boxes with, proximity to Boise, and it's on an interstate freeway, and there's an airport close by, but we just didn't see investment in the city on the city's part. Developers and site selectors say now that they now see that Mountain Home has a vision, and the vision that's been presented and the comp plan is something that they want to be a part of. As a planner, what could be better than that? Hello and good evening. We want to give our most sincere appreciation and thanks for being awarded the 2020 Outstanding Plan of the Year Award. It's humbling and gratifying to be recognized by your colleagues and peers in the field for excellence in work product. We want to give recognition to our collaborators, Idaho Policy Institute at Boise State University, Elmore County Extension Office of University of Idaho, and the Public Involvement Division at Horrocks Engineers in our Pleasant Grove, Utah office. Their collaboration and input were critical to the completeness and success of the comp plan. And last but not least, we want to give great gratitude and recognition and thanks to the City of Mountain Home for their continued trust in Horrocks Planning Division in providing another exceptional community planning document, which is critical to the success and future of the city. So without their input and their remarkable collaboration, it obviously wouldn't have been possible. So thank you to everybody, and thank you again to APA Idaho for recognition of our work. Good night and have a great evening.
All right, and the moment we've all been waiting for, the coveted GEM Award. So this award recognizes planning achievements and leadership, and the topic chosen is the theme for the annual chapter conference. As you all know, for 2020, The theme for the conference is Strengthen Roots, Cultivate Change. And the winner of this year's award demonstrates the importance of place, authenticity, and supporting local, while recognizing our need to adapt in the face of rapidly changing economic and social climates. And so, without further ado, drum roll. This year's GEM Award goes to the City of Nampa and their 2020 Historic Preservation Plan. Congratulations.
So the City of Nampa hadn't updated their historic preservation plan since 2008, and there was also a desire from our Arts and Historic Preservation Commission to expand the idea of history and recognize we have a lot more historic periods and assets in our community beyond just our kind of early 20th century railroad boom. Like, we have our historic downtown, and ours is actually very well preserved, but there was this desire out of the commission to acknowledge the fact we also have school buildings that are also historic that don't necessarily fit into that little narrow railroad boom timeframe.
When I was hired, I met with the staff and I also met with the Arts and Historic Preservation Commission, and we developed a work plan so that we were all on the same page about what it was that they wanted, when we could get things accomplished, when we would interact with the public. We had iterations of meetings with the AHPC and with the public, collecting information on what they were concerned about regarding historic resources. The Historic Preservation Commission also was very concerned about elements related to how they operate, how they integrated in the development process. So we had that second phase, had a heavy emphasis on evaluating the preservation program itself.
We also did some really cool work, something I've never seen before with utilizing GIS. We were able to take the building permit data from the county and put it into GIS, and it shows the state of the structures. So you get this real-time look at how the community grew. After we did that GIS map and we got a sense of the ages and structures, we identified a few neighborhoods outside of the downtown core and a couple of buildings that aren't right in the downtown core that are definitely things we want to look at preserving.
I'd just like to emphasize that historic preservation is so important to communities and their quality of life. I hope that planners across the state will see this as an opportunity to reach out to their state historic preservation office. And I think this is an example of where the two interests really do come together and have the potential to do a lot more when they're joined up.
Thank you to the American Planning Association Idaho chapter for choosing Nampa, Idaho for the 2020 Idaho APA GEM Award. Historic preservation is very important to the community of Nampa, and as we all know, it takes a team to accomplish the work. The plan was a great collaboration with many opportunities to engage the broader community in understanding our historical assets and developing plans for continued preservation efforts. I would like to introduce Beth Einig, Director of Economic Development, who has the oversight of our Nampa Historic Preservation Commission. Both have been instrumental in assisting with this process.
Thank you for recognizing the recently completed Historic Preservation Plan for the City of Nampa. We would also like to thank and show our appreciation to Sherry Freemuth, who was our consultant that assisted in the process. With collaboration from our local Arts and Historic Preservation Commission, our Public Works support through GIS staff, Planning and Zoning, and Economic Development staff led by Morgan Treasure. Thank you again to the Idaho chapter of the American Planning Association for this great honor.
Thank you for attending this year's award ceremony, and congratulations again to all of the winners. We look forward to seeing you in person for the award ceremony next year. Have a good night.